How plyometrics increase your vertical? What are the benefits of plyometric training on the neuromuscular level? And what are the benefits of plyometric training on a technical level in order to increase your jumping ability and ultimately your vertical? We have discussed benefits of plyometric training on a neuromuscular level before. So looking at the activation of motor units mainly via the firing frequency, so how fast motor units can be activated. On a muscular level, or the muscle tendon architecture, it increases stiffness of the muscle and it also strengthens the tendon. We haven't looked at the technical aspect of plyometrics and how this technical aspect can improve your jumping ability. If we're looking very simply at the technical aspect of a jump, we have a moment where we descend into a squat position and then extend into the jump. Maybe I can show that here, probably a little bit too far away. So let's see whether that works. Again, eccentric, concentric and jumping. Yeah? So the eccentric portion is where we descend. The concentric portion is where we ascend and go into the jump. In between the eccentric and the concentric, excuse me for the spelling mistake, there is, it's called amortization. Basically, that means how well the energy that is stored in the eccentric phase can be used for the concentric phase. So the whole principle of storing energy is when we go down in any kind of sporting movement, we go down the eccentric phase, the muscle is able to store energy. And that energy can be released when we go up. So whether we push something up or we jump up. So if we're able to store energy in the eccentric phase without being lost in the amortization, we can use that energy for the concentric phase. So we looked at the neuromuscular level, so it increases the firing frequency as well as the stiffness of the muscle and the tendon. But it also helps when we learn to jump, or when we jump, that when we're in the bottom position, that it minimizes the time and we can use all the energy stored for jumping up. And that is basically how plyometrics can improve your vertical. Another word, we need to look at different forms of plyometrics. If we're looking at lower body plyometrics, which are important for jumping ability, there's no point in doing upper body plyometrics if we want to jump better. So if we're looking at lower body plyometrics, there are very simply put two forms. One is with a long contact and one is with a short contact. Without getting too much into detail, the short contact is where the ground contact time is below 200 milliseconds or 180 milliseconds. It's not that clear in the literature. Some use 200, some 180. Anyway, around 180 to 200. A long contact is basically above 200 milliseconds. So in most sporting activities, we have a longer contact than 200 milliseconds. So in training, it makes sense to use the longer contact if this is what's required in our sports. Nevertheless, the more we work also on the short contact plyometrics, we really see the benefits that I've discussed before. Firing frequency, the stiffness of the muscle and the stiffness of the tendon. So we need to balance both activities in our plyometric training if we want to increase vertical. As a recap, how can plyometrics increase your vertical? Basically via the neuromuscular component, so increased firing frequency of the motor units, tendon structure increases, and muscle stiffness increases. On the technical side, we have the eccentric portion and the concentric portion, and in between we have the amortization. And the plyometric training increases increases the ability to use the amortization. It doesn't increase the length, it increases the ability to use the amortization. What that means is actually the time period becomes shorter and less energy is going to dissipate.